So let's go ahead and make a program to just actually like see the angle of the gyro. So to do that, I'm gonna delete the on start block since we almost like never use it. We always want the forever block. And in brick, I'm gonna go down and pick up the show number block.
And Coach Aid.
Yeah.
Okay, show number block. I didn't add my gyro sensor yet to my robot. I'll do that after class. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, you have the program, so you can like test everything after.
There we go.
All right, so this is gonna show a number, right? So we want to show, what do we want to show? We want to show the gyro's angle. So I'm gonna go back into sensors and all the way down to gyro. I'm gonna take the second block. So where it says gyro angle, I'm gonna put it into where it says show number.
That's it.
Yeah, so it's as basic as that. So now, and you can simulate it here on the left. So now when I turn the gyro, it'll show me the angle. So try downloading it and try just turning your gyro. So it should show you the angle of your gyro.
The numbers just keep on going.
Hmm?
Simulation. In the simulation, when you turn the numbers, just keep on decreasing and increasing.
Yeah, I don't think it's registering that fast.
Wait a minute. Aren't we supposed to calibrate the gyro first?
To show it on the screen, yeah, but we're not doing anything with it, so it doesn't really affect it. Right now, we're just showing stuff. So if we were like moving forward or something like that, then yeah, it'd probably be good to calibrate it.
Okay, I calibrated it just in case.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so this is a very simple program that just shows us the angle of the gyro. What you can also do, and I don't think we played with this block, but if you guys go into brick, it's under the show number block, so it says show value. You can do this, and instead of using the show number block, you can take the gyro or whatever sensor you're trying to measure, and you can put it into this block, and I'm going to delete that, and you can type in something. So I could say angle of gyro or something like that. And then it'll kind of add the text and also add your sensor value. So if you guys look on the left, it's saying angle of the gyro. And then when I turn, it shows me the angle of the gyro. Just that way, so you're not just seeing numbers on your screen that you don't know what they mean. All right, so let's program the gyro. So we said that we could use the gyro to turn and to keep going straight. So which one do you guys want to do first? You guys want to turn with the gyro or go straight? Turn, okay. So let's turn.
Because
all right, so yeah.
Turning is tough. I tried it with the other robot I made with the EasyBot, and it doesn't work.
Okay, well, we'll play around with some things. So let's first go into motors and go to the steer motor block. So let's first go forward before we actually turn. And actually a good thing to do is probably to not use the forever block. So let's use the on start block. So in loops, I'm gonna take out the on start, and we're not gonna use forever this time. We're gonna use on start. And I'll delete the forever.
Boom.
So we'll keep our turn ratio 0 since we just want to go straight. And then we want to use the gyro to turn. So how do you guys think we should use the gyro to turn?
First, we should calibrate the gyro.
Yeah, good point. But how do you think we should actually like turn the gyro?
Maybe
use the gyro to turn.
Maybe make a variable and then like set the variable to like, I don't know.
Okay, so
Thinking
that,
about
that might be a little too fancy, but what we could do is, since the gyro measures angle, we could tell it to keep on turning until it reaches a certain angle. How about that?
which will be
You're
90.
leaving? Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
so
90.
much.
Since if we wanted to turn 90 degrees, so sharp right, we could tell it to keep on turning until it gets to 90.
Well, technically 80, because what I discovered is that the gyro is a little bit slow, so it moves like 10 degrees extra. So it would
Yeah,
it would turn 100 degrees.
yeah. So there are kind of ways to fix that. You might be able to turn down the speed so that it doesn't turn as much, and then it won't go too far past 90. But yeah, so to do this, we actually first wanna use a loop. So I'm gonna go into loop, and there are a couple options that we could use, but I think, let's see.
Pause and repeat it. Whenever I think of a MakeCode and I go looking for some blocks, I actually get, like, Scratch pops up into my head, and like I keep on looking for a repeat until, but I can't find a repeat until.
In Scratch, yeah, there might be a little different between like the softwares.
In
But
MakeCode,
I think we're gonna use the while loop. So I don't think we've played with the while loop. So I'm gonna take the while loop out.
While.
Can you help me clean up all this, pick up all the Lego, put it back in the box? Because Andrew is not here. Usually he does it. Can you put back everything for me, please?
All right. So what the while loop does is it says while something is true, it's gonna do something else. So we could say, I don't know.
Why didn't you all tell I wasn't on mute? I was talking to Camp Kids.
All right. So while loops, they do what's in it until something is false. So while something is true, it's gonna do whatever is in this block. So we could say while, I don't know, 5 is greater than 3, it's gonna do something, and that's always gonna be true. So it's gonna continue doing this. But when 5 is not equal to 3 or greater than 3, which is never, but when this statement becomes false, it stops. So it doesn't do this anymore. So what we could do is we could use some logic. So let's go into the logic tab. So I'm going to go down to the comparison block. I'm going to choose the one with the less than. I'm going to put it in our while loop. And we should also actually press the little plus button on our steer motor block, because right now this is just going to go forever. And we only want it to go for a couple rotations. So let's try just one rotation, 1 or 2 rotations. All right. So we brought out the while loop, and then we brought out our logic. So I'm going to change what our symbol is. So right now it's less than. We want it to be less than or equal to. All right, so now our first value here is going to be our angle value. So I'm going to go back into sensors and go all the way down to where it says gyro. And I'm going to pick the second one, so gyro angle. All right, so right now our program says on start, it's going to move forward for 1 rotation, and then while the gyro angle is less than, and right now it says 0, but what number you guys think we should put here? So we want it to turn, right?
90?
Yeah, so if we wanted to turn 90 degrees, we'd put 90 in here. So it's saying right now, while the gyro's angle is less than or equal to 90, it's going to turn. Or, well, we haven't told it what to do. So right now it's going to do nothing, but we want it to turn. So we're going to say we want the robot to turn.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What if you wanted to turn left? Would you change that to -90?
Exactly. So, yeah, if you wanted to turn left, you would change it to -90. But you would have to change something else. So I'm going to do what Karthik said. So -90. So no, you wouldn't change the speed. You would change this symbol. So right now it says while the gyro's angle is less than or equal to -90 degrees. So what this would do is it would go. Actually, I don't even know what this would do. I think this would continue going right. It would keep on turning right all the way to -90. It wouldn't turn left. So you would have to change this symbol to greater than or equal to -90. That way it would start at 0 and then go to -90.
But you would also have to change the speed of the steer motors.
Yeah, you would change the speed, but we haven't put anything in there. But yeah, you're right. So I'm gonna change it back. So we have our less than or equal to and our 90. And I'm gonna go back into motors. And we could turn with the steer motor block, but I kind of like the tank motor block. So I'm gonna take out the tank motor block and put it in here. And remember, when we want to turn, all we have to do is change one of the speeds. So depending on how you have your motors plugged in, you're gonna have to make one of them negative. So right now I have my motors plugged into B and C. I have my right motor plugged into B and my left motor plugged into C. So if I want to make a 90-degree turn, I'm gonna want to make my B motor a negative. So I'm gonna want to make my right motor a negative number if I want to turn right.
Right. Left is right.
And we're not going to press the plus button on this one because we don't want to limit it to any amount of rotations. So it's going to keep on turning right until it gets past 90 degrees. So that's what this is saying. So let's download our code and test it out. Let me turn on my brick. And for those of you who have EasyBots still built, let's see what it does.
Lego Butler 29. Okay.
All right, my EV3 is acting up a little bit. Has anyone tested it yet?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't have my.
Mine's just kept on turning around in circles.
It did? Okay, let me test mine and get back to you.
I don't have my gyro on yet. Should I
Okay.
add that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Gyro sensor.
I'm actually doing this code on my other program. So I think that might be the problem, but
Okay, so my carpet is kind of acting up on the carpet. Let me the table. All right, mine just keeps on moving forward. I'm not sure if I downloaded. Okay, no, I didn't download the right program.
Do you need to limit the rotations on the tank motor?
No. So yeah,
Okay.
you just want that to keep on going until it reaches 90 degrees. All right, Karthik, have you tried it?
I tried it. It was still spinning in circles.
Okay, hold on, because I downloaded the wrong program to start with. Yeah, the gyro is very tricky. Could be that we didn't calibrate it in the beginning. So that might be why. But let me test this first, and then we can get back to the code.
I calibrated my gyro.
You did, and it still was acting weird?
Spinning in circles.
Did you make sure your gyro is plugged into the right port? We did it for port 2.
Plugged in on port. Mine just plugged in on port 4, and I changed.
Okay, then did you change that in your program?
Yes, I did. I changed it to gyro 4 angle and calibrate gyro 4.
My AV3 is not showing up. All right, hold on. Sorry, guys.
A trick that my dad taught me, because it wasn't my EV3 wasn't working like 2 days ago again.
Mhm.
Just restart the computer and it works.
Oh no, if I restart the computer, I leave the meeting. I don't think mine was just on, and then I plugged it back in and it wasn't off. So I'm gonna turn it back on and off again. So we'll see that. So let's go ahead and just put the calibrate block in the beginning of our program. So in sensors, the first block under, no, it wasn't. So if you go to gyro,
Calibrate gyro.
where it says calibrate gyro, yeah. So that block, we're gonna make it our first block. Make sure it's in the right port for you. Mine is on port 2. All right.
I feel like yours is also spinning in circles, looking at the simulation on the left,
Is it really?
I think.
Oh, yeah. All right, so yeah, mine is also spinning in circles for some unknown reason. So let's do something. Let's try, sometimes the gyros act up. It's called gyro drift. There's a block for that too. We could try using that.
There it is. I mean, I just noticed it.
Yeah, I'm
Compute
not sure
gyro.
how much that helps, but we could try using that, because let me look back at the program. Yeah, I want to make sure I did it on the right motor. Cool. All right, did anyone have any luck?
Mine spun in circles.
Yeah, seems like we're all having that problem. Probably something with the code. Okay. Well, let's troubleshoot. So we have our calibrate block, our steer motor block. We say we want to go for 1 rotation, and then while the gyro is less than or equal to 90 degrees, we want the robot to turn.
I'm making mine go left, but it's turning.
I think what we did wrong was that we didn't tell that we wanted it to stop after.
Oh.
So
Oh, right.
let's
'Cause
go
it'll
into
just
motors,
keep going
and
and
say
going.
And then
stop
you stop
all motors. So we'll put this after, and let's see if that worked.
That's just that was such a minor error.
I don't even know if it's gonna work. Let's try it.
Like
Okay.
if that happened during a match or like a competition, that would be just so sad.
Well, I mean, by the time you're in a competition, you would have already programmed and troubleshooted everything, hopefully.
Well, like you face another problem, like your gyro stops working.
Oh yeah, that happened to us in our competition.
Wait,
If
what?
Nino
How did
remembers.
you fix it?
All right, I'm downloading mine.
That was a good question. I don't remember.
Okay.
All right, download it and see if that works.
It's
Mine's still going in circles.
Mine went straight and then turned.
90 degrees. Yeah,
90
it worked
degrees.
perfectly. It worked perfectly.
Yeah,
Let's stop
it's
all
the
motors.
gyro. The program should work. The gyro kind of acts up sometimes. So
Yeah,
you
it works
guys,
great.
it worked?
Yep.
Maybe we just had to use stop all motors.
Yeah, we did. Once you put the stop on motors, it worked.
Yeah. So we can. I think what it's doing. I don't know. Let's try turning down the speed.
No, Coach Aid.
Yeah.
What mine just did was it just stopped for 100 milliseconds and then it went forward again.
Do you have it on an on start or forever?
I have it on a touch sensor pressed.
I mean, like, what is all your code in? So mine is in an on start block.
Mine is in a on touch sensor 1 pressed.
Okay, try using the on start.
Okay. I'm gonna. Okay, let me just.
Also try taking out your gyro and then plugging back in. That sometimes helps.
I mean, when you calibrate your gyro, the light on the EV3 turns orange and it starts blinking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when you know that your gyro is working, sort of.
Okay, so mine worked now. But it kind of did more than a 90-degree turn, which
So
was
you
weird.
need to do 80 degrees.
Hmm?
You probably need to do 80 degrees.
Yeah. What it does sometimes is if your speed is too high. So I haven't even downloaded the 25 speed one, but if your speed is too high, sometimes it'll go more than what it's supposed to and not catch it in time. So if you turn down your speed, you'll get a lot more accurate turns.
Okay, well, I mean, I figured out my mistake. For the tank motors, both of them were at 50.
Oh yeah, it's just gonna keep on going forward.
Yeah.
All right. So Nina, were you able to fix yours?
I didn't. I have to add on on it.
What was that?
I'm working on the gyro.
Okay. Yeah,
And then I'm gonna
gyros are
download
kind
it.
of hard to use sometimes.
They're also annoying because like you tell it not to drift and it drifts.
Yeah. Okay, mine did a perfect 90-degree angle. So try using the negative 25 speed. And also, if you're still having problems, go into Gyro Sensor and click on the one that says Compute Gyro Drift. So what that will do is it'll kind of correct the error, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, if you keep it on 90, it should do a perfect 90-degree turn if you have it at 25 speed. And also make sure when you start your robot, make sure it's pointing straight so it's not turned, because we calibrated.
Coach IE,
Yes.
it turned 45 degrees.
45 or 90?
Excuse me, 90.
90.
Awesome. So it worked?
Yeah.
I still need to test mine.
All right. Awesome.
I haven't tested mine yet.
It's just because I forgot to add the gyro.
Oh.
No wonder why it wasn't working.
Yeah, gyros are really weird. All right, so what we can do next is we programmed it to go forward and turn. So let's make our robot go in a square. So let's make it go forward, turn, go forward, turn, and go forward and turn. So what do you guys think will be the easiest way to do that?
We can do it once and we can like put a repeat block, and if there is a repeat block. I don't know if there, oh yeah. There's a repeat block, and do how many times you want it. Oh, 4 times, perfect.
Coach,
yeah, exactly.
What did you say?
So I said, let's program our robot to go in a square. So square has, of course, 4 corners, and each of the corners is 90 degrees. So we just made our robot go forward, and we made it turn. So that's 1. So that's like one side of the square. So we just have to make it do that 3 more times.
Could we just put the repeat block around the on start block? Or should we just do it separate and just copy the program that we have over here?
So yeah, you would want to take out everything in your on start and put it in your repeat. So what Nina is saying is that we should, instead of like doing this program like 4 more times or 3 more times for each of the other sides, we can put our program in another loop that'll make it do it 3 more times to make each side of the square. So it'll kind of go in the square shape. So if you guys go to loops, there's a repeat block, or it's a loop. So
repeat
this
4
loop,
times.
yeah. So this loop basically tells us to repeat for a certain amount of times. So this one actually has to go in a block. So you can put it in the on start block, and if you put it in, it did it for me. It put all my code into the repeat block.
For me too. Right.
Yeah. We have to change some things though.
I just need a call.
So the first thing that we want to change is this calibrate. So we have calibrate in our repeat block, but what it's saying is that every time it turns, it's going to calibrate. So we probably don't want that. Or actually, no, we'll keep the calibrate. That way we turn 90 degrees each time. Yeah, because if we didn't keep calibrate, it'll mess up. So yeah, we'll keep that. So let's see.
Coach Aid,
Yes.
should I start a new program so that I can do it separate so that I still have this program?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really change anything. We just put the repeat block. But yeah, if you wanted to go into another program, you could do that. So you could say gyro, just turn, and then you can name the other one like gyro, go in a square. All right, so I think this program is
Okay.
good. So let's try this. So it should go forward and turn 4 times.
It works.
All right, it works.
Yep, pretty sure it does.
Awesome.
I'm gonna put this code into my other program since I needed help turning with the gyro in that other program.
Yeah, so it works. It just takes a while because it's calibrating each time. Let's see what would happen if we just put the calibrate at the beginning. I think it would mess up, but I want to see because it's taking a while now. So I'm going to try that. I just switched where the calibrate is. And let's try that.
I'll download mine. Download.
All right, yeah, so not a good idea to put the calibrate outside of the loop. So we'll keep it in there. All right, so we made our robot go in a square. We've made it turn. All right, the last thing we can do with the gyro is, of course, make it go straight. So I'm going to go into a new program, and I'm going to title it again, turn. Yeah.
Hey, mine's running right now. So far, it's got 3 sides, and that was just the 4th side. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
That's great.
Got it.
Yeah, so you can use this program and make it turn. So if you wanted to make it turn, I don't know, 130 degrees, just a random number, you just change this number to 130. And then I think Karthik was talking about if we wanted to turn left, you have to make this negative 90. You'd have to flip the sign. So instead of less than or equal to, and make it greater than or equal to. And then you, of course, you're going to change which number is negative. So instead of B being negative, I'd make my C be negative. So I'll save that. And then I'll just let's create a new project.
Wait, why?
Because we're going to make our robot go straight now.
Oh, I already know how to do that.
Awesome.
I mean, I used variables for it, but yeah. So I made a variable called correction. And then I set correction to correction multiply by 1. And then whenever I make my robot move forward with the steer motors, I set the turn ratio to correction. So yeah, it moves straight.
Oh wow, Karthik, yours seems kind of complicated.
I mean, I can share my screen and show you the code.
Yeah. Once we finish, there's a really simple program that you can use to just make it go straight. But I'm not sure how well it works on the EasyBot. And again, these gyros kind of have a lot of problems. But we'll try it. So, all right. So we're gonna use the forever block. So we're just going to say that we want our robot to just keep on moving forward and we want it to go straight. So the first thing we're going to do, of course, is bring out our steer motor block. So in motors, steer motor, and we'll bring out that block. All right. So the second thing we want to do now is we want to actually make it go straight. So if you guys remember, the gyro sensor measures angle. So what we could do is that we could say that we want our robot to just keep on moving forward and we want to sense the angle. So if it goes off a little bit, we want it to correct itself. So we want it to turn back and stay at 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our math. We're going to use math this time. So the math block just does a bunch of different operations. So if you look at all these, it can add 2 numbers, subtract 2 numbers, multiply 2 numbers, divide 2 numbers. And then all of these are kind of some higher level math like remainder, the minimum of 2 numbers, the absolute value of a number or the square root. But we're going to use just the basic plus, minus, subtract, and divide. So we're going to want to, you could use a bunch of blocks for this one. We're going to do the multiply one.
You forgot multiplication. You said plus, minus, subtract, and divide.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you know what I mean, right? The 4, just the basic arithmetic. Yeah. So we're going to use the multiplication block. And what we're going to multiply is our gyro angle. So go into sensors and go all the way down to gyro. So the second block that we used before, we're going to measure the gyro angle and we're going to multiply it to something. All right, we're going to make this second number that we're multiplying by be a negative number. So we're going to make it -5. And so this is our multiplier. So this -5 is how sharp our robot is going to turn. So what this program is saying right now is that we want our robot to just keep on going forward. And if it experiences an angle that is not 0, so 0 would be going straight, right? So if it like turns, let's say 10 degrees to the right, if it experiences that, then what it's going to do is it's going to multiply the gyro angle, so 10 degrees, and it's going to multiply it by this number, so -50, and that's how much it's going to turn. So then it's going to turn, and it should correct itself. So if you like push the robot, it should correct itself and turn back straight. So if you use a really, really high number here, like let's try like -20, then it's going to turn sharper. But that's probably not a good idea. You probably want to use a really low number, and you also want your speed to be low. So -5, and let's try 25 speed just to start off with.
Okay, downloading.
And of course, we always want to use the calibrate since it seems to be working really well. So go back into gyro and the one that says calibrate gyro. And yeah, I'm gonna download this and see if it works.
I'll start downloading too.
Yeah, and so way you can test it is when your robot's moving, going forward, try just like pushing it a little bit and see if it corrects itself.
Okay, this is gonna be, I put mine in a forever loop, so it's gonna run. Well, no, not really. The good thing is if you put something in a forever loop and you use the gyro, it takes a while to calibrate the gyro, so
yeah, so
before it starts running.
All right, I'm gonna test mine.
What in the world is happening? Mine's is spinning in circles.
Yours is spinning in circles. Uh-oh. Why is that?
I don't know. I need to check my code.
All right, it's probably your multiplier. So how big is, what's your second number?
-5.
And what's your speed?
25.
Really? And it's spinning in circles?
Yeah,
Did you put your calibrate block?
I did. I put it in an on start.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know.
Could I
Try
eat?
putting it in your forever block. Yeah.
Is it possible you grabbed that earlier program that was that you downloaded, you dragged the wrong one out of downloads?
I
Because
didn't.
it was going in circles before.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
I'm not sure how yours is going in circles.
Let me try download. Let me try dragging it again.
Coach Aid,
Yep.
what are we gonna name our program?
I don't know. We could say gyro straight or something, as long as you know what it means.
It worked.
Okay.
I probably dragged in the wrong program.
All right, so I think mine is working. I mean, it's going really slow, so I think it's working, but I don't know. The program should work. I know that for certain.
Oh my god, it is so satisfying when you like just move it a little bit and it just moves.
Yeah, and it corrects itself. Yeah.
Yeah, that is just so cool.
Okay. Now
Yeah,
you're
so
gonna
let's
save
try
it
turning this
just
to
like
a
that.
bigger
Click
speed.
save.
So let's try 50 this
Okay.
time. So it's going
Open
to,
in folder.
and maybe we can try having a smaller
Scroll down.
multiplier.
Drag
Or
it.
actually, let's try just the -5 first, and let's see what that does.
Now go bot because it's going to turn on.
All right, but do you guys understand kind of what the program is doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's turning when the robot's not going at an angle that's not 0. So anytime it's not 0, it's multiplying to -5. And the reason that 0 doesn't do anything is because when you multiply 0 by any number, you just get 0. So 0 times anything is just 0. So when this angle, when this robot is going straight, it'll have an angle of 0, and it won't turn at all. It'll just keep on going straight. But if it goes like 10 degrees to the right, it'll kind of skew itself back.
It just like goes like you tilt it like all the way around and it just turns around so slow. So cool.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't recommend turning it all the way around because it'll probably act up then.
I didn't turn it all the way around. I turned it like 10 degrees, 20 degrees.
Uh-huh.
And it's pretty cool. It just like pops itself back into position.
All right. So I downloaded that. Let me test it.
Coach Aid?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine worked.
Awesome. That's great. So we used the gyro program to go straight. We also used it to turn. So now we can kind of combine that. And I want you guys to play around with that.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. So I said today we used the gyro to go straight, and we used it to turn at a certain angle. So I want you guys to like kind of play around with it, make it like do a bunch of things. So maybe go straight and then turn 50 degrees or something like that. Maybe make it turn like fully 180.
Coach Aid.
Yeah.
The code that you just showed me changed my whole program.
What do you mean?
Like for the other one, like I had I don't know if I told you, but I had like this robot that goes to the kitchen and comes back.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't going straight with the other method. It was like messing up.
Yeah, it's a really, really simple program that works all the time, as long as your gyro works, which is not a lot of the time. But yeah.
Karthik, the way you say it's so moving. It's like your code changed my whole life. It's so nice that you have that sense of thrill. That's so good. So now your program is going to work so perfectly, right, Karthik?
Yes. Like the first time I test it works properly. The second time I test it, it drifts off to the right and it doesn't work.
Okay. So that's good.
Yeah, SIDS is drifting a little bit. It kind of it tries to correct a little bit, but it doesn't go perfectly straight the whole time. After a while, after a long time, after about 30 feet, it's kind of drifting off.
All right, there's a block for that. If you go into sensor, where is it? Yeah, compute gyro drift. That should kind of help it. But yeah, I think time is almost up. Does anybody have any questions about the program?
Should I add the calibrate gyro to mine too? Or
Yeah, you probably want to calibrate it every time.
Okay. Compute. To drift. Okay.
And
I'll also add that to my other program.
Yeah, so we have our robot going
Compute
forever
gyro.
right now, but if you wanted to if you didn't want it to go forever, if you only wanted it to go like 5 rotations with the gyro, you'd do something like this. You'd use your on start block, and you would want to use a loop in that on start block.
Coach Aid.
Yes.
Okay, Coach Aid, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, am I?
No.
All right, tell me when I'm good.
Okay, now you're not.
All right, it's good now?
Yes.
Well, I just realized that the method that I was using with the variables is the same as yours, except for the -5 was a -1.
Oh, okay. So your program, okay. So you can use a variable, but it's kind of, I don't know, you don't really need it since the gyro angle in itself is kind of like a variable. But variables are good for like a bunch of other things. And yeah, if you have yours on -1, it's gonna turn really, really slow, and it might not correct itself in time. So you don't want a number that's too big, because if it's too big, it'll turn too much and then not catch itself. But if you have a number that's too small, it won't turn enough. So you want that number that's just right. So sometimes it takes a little bit of experimenting.
It fixed it.
Yeah, and the speed also kind of plays a role into it. Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
The compute gyro fixed it.
It fixed it? Awesome.
It's going nice and straight now.
Yeah, I wish the actual EV3 had this block, because that's a really big problem. I think it's only MakeCode that I've seen so far that has this compute gyro.
So can you use MakeCode for like the competitions?
I don't see why not. Yeah, I think so. Because yeah, some kids program their robots in like Python and stuff. I don't think there's a limit on what you can use.
JavaScript. You can switch over to JavaScript in MakeCode.
Yeah, I think. Oh, in MakeCode?
Yeah.
The Java, you can get the text. Yeah, and it'll show you like what your block program is doing. I think robot C. I don't know if that's Java or C. I'm not sure, but there's a bunch of different programs you can use to program your EV3. Because the EV3 is basically, it's just like an Arduino. Like it's just a microcontroller.
So good job. You all did great. And that's nice. You're making great progress. It's happening even better than the live sessions that we have here at Shiva. That's awesome. So thank you, Aid, for doing it. As always, you're keeping their enthusiasm and their curiosity alive. And good news, this coming Monday, I'll be on a teacher panel discussion with Lego Education Company, because
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they are donating us a bunch of Lego Spike Prime kits, because we are.
Wow.
What did you say they were donating?
Oh, that's awesome.
Spike Prime, the latest Lego boxes. So for that, I may have to share some of the snippets of our videos, some of our recordings. So that's good. So this worked. So there'll be a panel of 8 teachers discussing how we can have it in multiple countries. So this is really exciting. It's getting better and better. And IED is working on setting up a Google Classroom. So if everything works, you will receive an invite this week. And next week when we meet, it will be on Google Meets. So you have all the previous logs from previous session. You can go back and check your code and have the building instruction, everything in one place. Okay, so I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Coach K.
Bye.
Can I build another robot since we learned about all the sensors?
We should ask Aid, is it okay for them to take the EasyBot apart? Or
of course, yeah, of course it's okay. Yeah, you guys can do like whatever you want. As like that's the purpose of this, so you guys can go back home and play around and create your own stuff.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
So for Tuesday, you still want them to have the medium motor and the scooper, or they can take that apart too?
I would prefer it, yeah, since I think we're gonna continue building our robot.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you guys wanted to take it apart, you can. I guess just make sure you put it back together. It's not really that much building.
Or if you
I'll make the claw too.
Totally undo contraption.
If I can find it.
And I mean, you should still have a lot of parts left.
Yeah.
After you build it, because it only takes up like one medium motor and a couple other stuff. But yeah.
Okay, then. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 See you on Saturday.
See you then.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye. Have a good